Election day is finally here, at last. We've been waiting nearly 4 long and extremely painful years to finally reclaim this republic, and this right now is our moment. Today is not only the presidential election of the century, it's also the most consequential presidential election we've ever had as a nation, and everybody knows it. I mean everybody. The utter importance of this election is self-evident because our nation is heading down the wrong path fast, and it has been for nearly 4 years now. We can all sense it and really see it, regardless of our own political differences. But now the big question still remains. Will people opt for widespread opportunity and prosperity and peace with President Trump, or for more suffering and turmoil with Kamala Harris? It's quite an obvious choice, right, when one really thinks about it. But alas, this election appears to be remarkably close, which is a testament to the power of the propaganda machine supporting the Harris campaign. The mainstream legacy news establishment is clearly on her side, and they've been working overtime to support her campaign. And part of that support comes in the form of lying to our fellow Americans about President Trump. They've lied about him, his track record, and even his policy platform. But that's not all, because Kamala Harris has also attacked him with disgusting lies. And she has even resorted to calling him a dictator and a fascist because she's running out of cards to play. She even falsely accused him of praising Adolf Hitler, the world's most evil man, not so long ago. Clearly, Lion Kamala will say whatever it takes to discourage the American people from supporting President Trump, regardless of the truth, and no matter how desperate it looks to the rest of the world, because all she wants is more power. It's not about principle, it's not about policy, it's not about justice, this is about power. What's also quite clear is that Kamala doesn't handle pressure or stress very well, as evidenced by her decision to not do an interview with Joe Rogan on his podcast. Her running mate, Tim Walz, also has decided not to do the show. Meanwhile, President Trump and J.D. Vance both appeared on the show within just days of each other. Interesting, right? And speaking of Joe Rogan, he officially endorsed President Trump just late last night, following his podcast with ex-owner Elon Musk, who made a fantastic pitch for electing President Trump.
This election is the last chance to preserve democracy in America. Mark my words. Everything they accuse Trump of, they are guilty of. And if Trump doesn't win, this will be the last real election in America.
Maybe it sounds a little bit hyperbolic, but it really is true. Our freedoms, our liberties, and our most precious God-given rights are all on the line right now, and a vote for President Trump is a vote to preserve those rights, whether it's freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, or freedom of religion. All of our rights are at stake in this election, and should Kamala Harris take power in January, those rights will be gone. And once they're gone, they don't come back. That's how it works. And it looks like millions of us understand this unchanging and universal truth. And perhaps that awareness is why several election polls, including this one by Atlas Intel, currently show Trump leading Kamala Harris in all 7 swing states. It's important to note that Atlas Intel was the most accurate pollster of the 2020 presidential election. And now Kamala, she is leading him in 2 non-swing states, Minnesota and Virginia. However, she only has a very slight lead of just 2 percentage points in Minnesota, which is very interesting because Minnesota is her running mate's own home state. But despite this very intriguing poll data, we all know how important this election really is, and we can't allow ourselves to get comfortable here or to get complacent, because poll results, as good as they are, don't win elections. Ballots do. The path to victory is a record high voter turnout, and the best thing that we can all do to help President Trump win this election and save our country from destruction is to cast our ballots for him and to encourage others to do the same. That is how we win. And it's time to make America great again.